Hey, you know what time it is? It's time for a short clip from the main show. We hope you enjoy this.
But like removing literature from somebody else's porch, like we saw with the George Shahal in the previous election, that type of stuff, right? Those types of dirty tricks, and these are the ones that I'm talking about here. Now, the Liberals did something, and I've been kind of weird about how to cover this because there's a whole part of it that's, oh, come on, really?
Yeah.
Fletch Pearls, it's not that bad. There is, however, one thing about it that is concerning. One specific small thing about it that is concerning. And that's why I was trying to find the balance. Mr. Grizzly, if you have the visual to show the kits and cubs, but I'm sure pretty much everyone has seen it because this has been talked about like crazy, as opposed to the other ones which have not been talked about very much. This is the one it seems the media has decided to focus on of all the dirty tricks that have taken place.
It's ridiculous. I mean,
these were 2 pins that were put up. Now, for those who are not watching, who are hearing, there's 2 pins. One has Jenny Byrne written on it and Corey Tonight written on it with Jenny Byrne stricken out.
Correct.
And a maple leaf under it. One is red and says "Stop the Steal."
And the O in the stop.
Now, these pins
stop is in the shape of a stop sign.
Pardon?
The O in the word stop is in the shape of a stop sign.
Exactly. Now, both these pins were circulated at something that's called the Manning Conference, which is sort of like a get-together of people who are conservative-minded, regardless of party, to come together and discuss policy. The Broadbent Institute had theirs for progressive pretty much at the same time. It's kind of odd that they're happening at the same time as an election, but they're not related to the election. These were just scheduled events. But it's where conservatives go to talk to each other about allegedly conservatism and what it is and policies and things they want to pursue. And those were scattered around. Now, the Tonight Burn with Burn crossed out in Tonight, that's a good, clean jab.
Yes, because it's literally happening.
There's some infighting, whatnot. You want to stir the pot. Okay. The Stop the Steal one, though.
Not cool. Not cool.
I know it's feeding on the...
Don't trust the polls.
The hoodies. Don't trust the polls.
Or do you believe the polls, I think is what it said.
Yeah,
but
do
either
you
way,
believe the polls? Yeah. Do you believe the polls? But stop this. No. That one is just bad.
Very bad.
All right. Trying to claim that a party said something that they did not say is one thing. Trying to plant the seed that they're saying something that they did not say is another thing. Yeah. But doing it by feeding into that specific narrative of rigged elections and it coming from a liberal source, that is just, from any source, that's wrong. But from a liberal source, like, come on. Now, we're not saying that this is party directed. Now, some people have made the point, however, because the 2 staffers apparently who allegedly were overzealous and allegedly did this on their own without direction have been reassigned rather than fired. And someone made the point, well, if they were just 2 low-level staffers, I mean, cut.
Yeah. Why are they reassigned?
So somebody's thinking that maybe the decision, because they weren't let go of, right? Another person can turn around and say, well, it's just pins. I'm like, come on, like, fine. Just reassign and, just keep it quiet. So whatever it is, but yes, it does kind of open that door. Not having let them go makes you wonder if it wasn't in fact 2 overzealous staffers, maybe people that they actually need.
Well,
right?
Possibly, but here's the part that kills me.
It's plausible.
It certainly is, but so Rachel Gilmore broke the story along with a few other people, and I saw commentary on her feed about it. I can't believe you're running with this story without it being blah, blah, blah. She's like, no, it's it's all those folks, I think, ate crow later on when they turned out it was true. It did happen. This did
Yep.
take place.
Yep. It was actually broken by CBC.
CBC? Okay.
Yep. Because the reporter in the bar.
Oh, it was from CBC? Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
So
Like, how
a
dumb do you
reporter.
have to be to do that and then go to a bar, have a few drinks, and brag
I
about it?
know.
What the hell is wrong with you?
I know. I
Like,
mean,
literally shit can these people.
yes. Yes.
It's
Um,
poison. It's
I
poison.
know.
You don't want that attached to you.
I know. Listen, liberals, especially the young staffers. If this is a young staffer thing, I know you're feeling good. I know after a hard day's work, you're gonna just sit there, have a pint, talk about the day
Mhm.
with the friends,
Yeah, yeah.
scores you made, that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. Fine, but come on,
Talking about doing
loose lips
something
sink
that
ships. And then number
dirty and
two,
underhanded.
somebody. But this is the other part: is the journalist was there, had identified themselves as a journalist, and the person was still saying it.
Mhm. Yeah.
So either how dumb or how much in the tank are you when you're saying that? Uh, and then, of course, apparently when CBC called for comment, I was like, "Oh, I don't know anything about that." It's like, dude, like,
I just
come on,
wanna know what pub they were at.
Darcy McGee's.
It was Darcy's there.
It was Darcy McGee's. Yes. So
Not surprised.
right, which is where it's if you're a journalist,
That's usually where you'll find a
just
lot of
go to
journalists.
Darcy McGee's, and the journalist made a point saying, "Oh, by the way, I was only having soda." So it's
Yeah.
I was very clear on what I heard. So, have a couple sodas and just like, walk
Listen,
around the place and just like,
there's a lot of staffers that hang out there. At one point in time, that was a conservative stronghold in that a lot of conservative staffers used to go there after
mm,
work, and then it was Harper brought the hammer down and said, "No, don't go there anymore," and he meant it. I'm like,
yep,
"Wow, that's you're infringing upon people's freedom of movement there, Steve-O.
yep,
They're not there on official business. You can't tell them what to do in their off hours." But he
right,
did. So
yep. So,
I
Mark
have the
Carney
clip
was
of Mark Carney commenting on that here.
yes, exactly.
Good morning. Kate McKenna from the CBC.
Hi.
Members of the Liberal War Room, so the Central Campaign, distributed Stop the Steal buttons at a Conservative event. Given the anti-democratic implications of this phrase, how much does this event undermine the trust in the way that the Liberals operate, and what have you done in response to these revelations?
Thanks for the question. Look, this is totally unacceptable, to be absolutely clear. And I, on behalf of my campaign, I was unaware of this behavior, but on behalf of my campaign, I apologize for it unreservedly. Okay. I've made it absolutely clear to my campaign that this behavior or anything approximating it or in that spirit is unacceptable, cannot happen again.
Oui, bonjour, Monsieur Carney.
Hello, Mr. Carney. TVA. I just want to come back to the buttons we were talking about. You said this was unacceptable and you have apologized to the Conservative Party. Will you fire the members of your team that distributed those buttons at the Conservative event? Well, the people responsible for this have been removed from the campaign.
The responsible people for this issue have been reassigned within the.
I think they should have been fired, but that's just me.
Again, if you want to avoid noise, you fire.
Yes.
Right, which opens the door to the conspiracy, whether or not. Now, I would assume to counter that, the journalist in question, right, was clearly face to face or pretty close to the person. And if the journalists know their beat, and if it was someone high up, certainly they would know, and this story
Oh,
would be
yes.
bigger. Now, apparently, the other thing that's really interesting about this is that another person, apparently in another place, did the same thing.
Say what now?
Apparently, there were two people that were talking about this loud
Mm.
in a public place where they could be heard.
These are not smart people, are they?
It's like not only did the journalist who broke the story
Mhm.
was in front of someone who was saying like him knowing that she is a journalist and him saying it out loud. But meanwhile, in Ottawa, at some other location, somebody else was also bragging about this thing where journalists
Wow.
were. And therefore, it was very easily to corroborate the story. Yeah, not bright.
No.
Okay. Number one, don't do this. Number two, if you're going to do this, don't get caught. Number three, best way not getting caught is not by getting shit faced, perhaps, or lubricated, perhaps, and then bragging about it, perhaps, in a public place, perhaps, well, you know where journalists hang out, perhaps, particularly when one who identifies themselves as a journalist, perhaps comes directly to you.